What's up guys, Christopher from Mainely Mesh. Welcome to a new mesh review. Today we're going to be talking about LaxRoom ExPro Mesh. ExPro Mesh is a $12 piece of performance mesh that LaxRoom offers. LaxRoom is an awesome direct-to-consumer retailer that I'm going to be talking about a lot in these upcoming weeks. Basically, ExPro Mesh is what I would call a Class 2 mesh. The way I define that is a Class 1 mesh is kind of your old school, what we were always using with the Gimalax semi-soft, semi-hard mesh back in the day. That kind of standard weave, nothing special. Basically just a piece of fishing net that we tied onto our sticks. Class 1.5 would be probably what I call the first String King type 1 mesh. It still had that similar type of weave, but it was more of that kind of standard 17.5 millimeter that we're used to now, instead of that original kind of 15 millimeter mesh that we had for generations. Class 2 mesh is really what I call anything that has the same style of weave that String King Type 2 did. String King kind of introduced this flatter weave that's pretty much been copied across the board. It's a much more consistent way to weave your mesh, a much tighter design, a much lighter design, and a much stronger design. So it's something that really fixed a lot of the problems of using kind of a thinner polyester when you were making a new mesh. Really increased the strength so you didn't have those ripping issues that the Type 1 String King did. And that is what the weave that 95% of the mesh on the market uses, from Hero to XPRO to Thrown Fiber. A bunch of these meshes use that same style of weave. It's not exactly proprietary, there's no patent on it as far as I can tell, but it's something that just a lot of people use now. A Type 3 mesh is something that might use some sort of crossover weave, whether that's Twist-X, whether that's some other meshes on the market. There's very few meshes that really use this. Really the only one I can talk about is actually String King Type 3. So that's what I consider a Class 3 mesh. The benefits of a Class 2 mesh are, one, the strength is pretty much unparalleled. So when you have that kind of flatter weave, it really allows you to get some nice strength in the mesh without doing anything too crazy weight-wise. The other benefit is just a lot more consistency because everything is rolled down very evenly. It's a nice smooth profile, so in dry conditions it's about as consistent as you can get a mesh. The cons, on the other hand, are first something that I've talked a little bit about with the ball hydroplaning when the mesh gets wet a little bit. Just because it's such a flat weave, sometimes the ball can kind of slide out if it does, if you are playing in the middle of a downpour, but it's not something you have to worry about too much. And the only other potential downside is it doesn't have quite as much hold potential as a Class 3 mesh does. This is something that is very small. You probably wouldn't be able to notice it if you picked up two sticks that were strung well. They probably feel like they have the same amount of hold. But there are some limitations to that Class 2 mesh. As far as XPRO Mesh in particular, it's clearly made out of a really nice polyester. I'm assuming polyester, don't quote me on this. Polyester material. It's really light, it's nice and durable. It was a breeze to string. Everything else kind of with these Type 2 meshes has to do with the coating. So this coating here feels a little bit more similar to the Thrown Fiber mesh than it does Hero Mesh. Hero Mesh actually has something interesting where one of the pieces of polyester in the horizontal component is a little bit thinner. So it doesn't have that same kind of bag that Hero Mesh might feel like, but it's just a really solid overall piece of high-performing mesh. As far as the aesthetic goes, they have, I believe, red, blue, and black striker, which are these kind of thicker strikes. So Hero Mesh is usually one vertical section of colored strips, whereas the XPRO Mesh is two. So it's a nice bold look, gives you that nice kind of channel just aesthetically going into the stick. As far as the price goes, $12 obviously beats anything else on the market right now as far as kind of more upper class Type 2 brands. The only one I can think of would be Stringer Shack G3 Ultralight Performance Mesh, which comes in around $6 and is also a Type 2 class mesh. But this is something really solid. You can still get those cool colored striker looks. And honestly, if you're looking at a Type 2 class mesh, this is going to be something that's pretty hard to pass up. At the $12 mark, you are saving some money. You're still getting the strength. You're still getting the benefit. If you don't like a Type 3 String King mesh, I would definitely keep XPRO Mesh in mind. It's something that's really going to be a solid bang for your buck, and you just can't go wrong with. Overall, it's just a really awesome product. You can't go wrong with it. LaxRoom is doing a great job of cutting out that middleman and dropping the price a little bit. I'm going to throw in some shots of me shooting around just to try to convince you guys with my magical marketing mind that it's the greatest product ever, but it's a really cool one nonetheless. Thanks so much to Laxroom for sending this over. Let me know if you have any questions down below. As you can see, I've got it on my Laxroom alloy here, and I also purchased 2 of the Laxroom carbons. You're going to be seeing reviews on that soon. Laxroom has a bunch of awesome stuff. It's just been kind of delayed in me getting to them because I'm bad at my job sometimes. But leave some comments down below. Thanks so much. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.